And welcome to Game 2 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinal round between the Carolina Hurricanes, the New York Islanders. A one-zip lead for the Canes. The Caniacs are ready. We're ready. It's Game 2. We're dropping the puck. The Islanders and the Canes from Raleigh. All right, Poochie, about 19,000 Caniacs ready to explode here inside PNC Arena as we're about to drop the puck on Game 2. Our starting goalies brought to you by Great Clips. Semyon Varlamov between the pipes for Patrick Waugh and the New York Islanders. And Freddie Anderson, who was phenomenal in Game 1, back in there for the Canes in Game 2.
Yeah, sets up to be a really good goaltender matchup.
Look, they were out in the tailgating parking lot early. They were ready to go, the Canes fans.
Always dialed in, some of the best in sports. And certainly the first among our NHL fans to start tailgating before games going back to 2002 in the playoffs.
The opening face-off won by the Islanders and chipped in by Adam Pelech, and we're underway Game 2 from Raleigh. Sent around by Jaccob Slavin. And off the boards and banked out by Jordan Staal. Of course, an Eastern Conference final appearance last year where they were swept as Burns off the draw and a kick save by Varlamov. A lot of steam behind that shot from the veteran Burns, former Norris Trophy winner. Back at the Carolina blue line, Jaccob Slavin. Now, slap shot from the top of the circle and easily handled by Varlamov off the stick of Jack Drury.
So two unique chances, both different in nature, but you see the Carolina Hurricanes love putting pucks on the net. Clean face-off win, alert, shot by Brent Burns. Even better save by Varlamov. Really good rebound control, directing that to the corner. And here's the offering from Drury. Varlamov, great positioning, recognizes there's no pass. You see the way he looked into his glove after he made the save? Great focus there by him.
He had his personal 5-game winning streak snapped with the Game 1 loss. But the last 11 games of the face-off is shot high and wide for Jaccob Slavin. As the Canes trying to cycle it down low, and Staal is shot, another save by Varlamov. Good pressure here from Carolina. And the Islanders desperately trying to clear the zone, and they do. And now Burns swings it ahead for Staal. Trying to lead it. Martinook driving the net high and wide. And it's kept in, though, as Jarvis sends it rink wide. One-timer off the board. And Martinook and covering and holding on is Varlamov.
That's going to draw a great applause from the fans here, and why would it not? This is a big part of the strategy of the Canes. Pepper the opposing teams with shots and shot attempts. A little short side play. Good post discipline by Varlamov on the blocker side. Didn't vacate that too early for you young goalies out there. And then the last chance, there's Martinook. But you see the way Varlamov regained his feet momentarily, pushed forward, took away the angle.
Here come the Islanders looking to move out. Noah Dobson's pass over the stick of Bo Horvat. Now from center, Barzal for the Islanders fires it in. Cizikas sends it behind the net. Horvat can't handle the pass, and it's chipped out. And now moving up the ice, here come the Canes. Cross the line. Brett Pesce joining the rush. And another save by Varlamov. Countering back the other way, Horvat. Barzal for Horvat, broken up as the Islanders did not have numbers. And now doubling back for it is Brady Shea for Carolina. Sebastian Aho for the Canes. Jake Gensel just feathers it in. Stanley Cup winner Robert Bortuzzo won it with the Blues. And a turnover, and it just floats in on the netminder Varlamov, who hangs on. But Varlamov, the last 11 games, Kev, 8-2-1, a 208 goals against, and a save percentage of almost .930.
He was sizzling down the stretch, and here come the Islanders now with speed of their own. It's Horvat and Barzal. Horvat through the middle. Barzal, I know he's an unselfish player. He's got to shoot that one himself. Great defensive play by Slavin, but nonetheless, that's a shot Barzal can and needs to take going forward. The Canes dominated the face-off circle so far, and they've won 4 in a row to this point.
Chatfield sends it around. Bortuzzo behind his own net, the big rugged defenseman. Now moving up ice, Cal Clutterbuck tries a long stretch pass that gets deflected by Matt Martin, handled by Anderson. Here comes Carolina. Across the line, Kuznetsov dangles on the wing. Circled by the net, backhand in front for Drury. and he just couldn't reach it, and it cleared for the Islanders. Tied up along the wall, taken back by the Islanders, and now here is Barzal. With speed through center, Barzal slams on the brakes, plays it back to the point, moving in, shot that goes high and wide. Alexander Romanov had a good look creeping in. Now sent in by Carolina. Aho takes the body from Dobson along the wall. As the Canes are completing a change, Barzal plays it to the middle, and Noah Dobson moves it out of harm's way and over the blue line of the Islanders.
Risky but effective breakout there by the Islanders.
Svechnikov leads, driving is Gensel. And he's taken into the boards by Ryan Pulock. At the point, one-timer that never got through as Orlov's shot hit a falling Svechnikov. Now racing for the puck, it's Lee. Slams on the brakes and lost it. And Svechnikov just can't reach it. It's back toward the New York end, and Pulock goes to play it for the Islanders.
1,400 plus career NHL games in this league.
Going wide, poked away from Necas. Along the wall, Teravainen. Here is Burns, dropping to a knee and trying to get as much as he can on that shot that was blocked. Back to Burns at the point, and he throws it toward the net, goes off the skate of Bortuzzo. Burns racing for the puck, and it bounces and it settles for the Islanders.
Good block by Bortuzzo there, part of that Stanley Cup winning team with the St. Louis Blues. Good D-zone position by him.
Burns banks it. Moving up ice. Kotkaniemi across the line. Necas trying to carry it to his backhand, and lost control, and here come the Islanders countering. Chipped ahead. Race for the puck. Palmieri gets there from a tough angle. That got the stick of Pesce, the defenseman, and it went wide. Now Palmieri behind the net. They dig it out of his skates. Plays it back to the line. Romanov. And a shot that doesn't get through. Still no official shots on goal for the Islanders. Carolina doing a good job defensively in front of Anderson. Stefan Noesen. And the breakout for Drury. And a backhand in from center as the Canes now will go for a change. Just over 9 minutes have gone by in this first period. Still no shots on goal for the Islanders. Here comes Lee. One-on-one battle in the corner. And it's taken away by Aho, then lost it. Here is Lee. Lee down low, banks it back to the point, and a one-timer that goes on through off the stick of Adam Pelech. Kuznetsov tries to lift it in, and it skips all the way to Noah Dobson. Pesce plays it along. And a big hit delivered, and losing his helmet is Clutterbuck. He was blasted behind the net by Kuznetsov. Rather, it was Kotkaniemi, not Kuznetsov.
What a hit by Kotkaniemi. I've never seen him, but this is what the playoffs do. They bring out elements of players that you don't typically see.
Here comes Carolina. Kuznetsov, stick handles, the backhand, and he sent it wide. Noesen along the wall for Kuznetsov. Moves it back up toward the point, and he throws it on net, handled by Varlamov, and we finally have a stoppage. Of all the head coaches in the league, we probably have the best matchup possible as far as their playing days with Rod Brind'Amour.
Like, what team wouldn't want to have Rod Brind'Amour behind the bench? What team wouldn't want to have Patrick Roy behind the bench?
Off the draw, one by the Islanders, and moving up ice is Barzal. Plays it in. Anderson behind his own net, high off the glass. And batted along by Horvat. Now here comes Carolina, and Svechnikov at center. Throws it into the empty corner. Aho cycles it low. Brent Burns jumps down low. And a shot from the angle, and Varlamov has lost his helmet in the process of making the save on Burns with 8:20 to go in this opening period.
Yeah, and there's nothing to boo on that. This is a health and safety issue. It's not NHL 1955. I can tell you as a former goalie. So good alertness here. As you can see the stick of Gensel, it pulls it off his head. So there's nothing to boo for. That could be a very dangerous play. So great job by the officials. I'm sure Dave Jackson saw that play. Very alert of the stripes to recognize that, blow it down. That's a health and safety issue for the player right there.
So a 9-game point streak to end the regular season to get in. Of course, the coaching change back in January as Lane Lambert was removed and Patrick Roy, arguably the greatest goaltender we've ever seen in the history of this game. inserted into the head coaching spot with the Islanders as the Canes look to break out, and Drury dumps it into the corner. Mike Riley takes the body. Along the wall, here's Drury. Centers, driving the net, and unable to get his stick on it was Kuznetsov. Back to the point for Chatfield, and a shot that's blocked. Loose puck picked up by Carolina. Wheeled down low by Drury. Inside 6:50 to go in this opening period. Still, the Islanders are without a shot. Backhanded in from center by Matt Martin. Orlov steers it along.
We got a tilt.
And behind the play, here we go. Kyle McLean for the Islanders. And Stefan Noesen.
You don't need to be in Vegas for the fight game. Raleigh, North Carolina is just fine. What a tilt by these two. I respect both these guys for this tilt. And although McLean lost his balance early, did a good job.
New York Islander penalty number 32. 5 minutes each for fighting.
So they're both sitting in the box, and Brent Burns trying to lift it out. Held in at the line by Romanov. And a shot from the high slot. And the first shot on goal by the Islanders, and it's handled with the blocker from Anderson off the stick of Kyle Palmieri.
And I'll tell you the challenge here from a goalie's perspective. Yes, Freddie Anderson's had some puck handles, but it's 6:28 on the game clock. And this is the first shot he's seen since warm-up, almost 45 minutes ago. So credit Freddie Anderson, who stayed sharp, rather, and not only makes the save, but the smooth direction of the rebound up into the netting as well. Good control there by Freddie Anderson.
They're kicking Brock Nelson out of the circle. And now Simon Holmstrom will take the face-off against Stahl. Stahl, one of the best face-off guys in the league, but it's won by the Islanders. Romanov and a shot from the wing that is blocked in front of Anderson. Palmieri overskates the puck and lifted out by Slavin. And a race for the puck down at the other end, and won by Romanov, and then he takes a hit. Stahl trying to center, bounces through the blue paint over to the corner. Here come the Islanders looking to move up ice. Noah Dobson from center, and it's tipped into the zone by Nelson. But here is Horvat moving up the wing. Cycles it down low, and there's our first penalty of game 2, and it's on Matthew Barzal. And the Canes are going to the power play. Oh wait, we might have matching minors here.
This might be both of them.
New York penalty number 13. 2 minutes for hooking.
Yeah, it is 2.
Carolina penalty number 22. 2 minutes for holding the stick.
Spins away from traffic. Gensel carries it in. Plays it over to the corner behind Aho, who circles back for it. Then takes a hit along the wall. Good defensive play, and losing an edge is Pulock. Or rather Pellick, I should say. And a shot that just maybe hit the outside of the cage. Orlov goes point to point. Gensel pivots toward the middle. Shot blocked in front. And here come the Islanders, a chance for an odd man rush. Nelson moving up. Nelson pivots, and a save by Anderson with a glove, and he hangs on.
That's a real good rush attack there by the Islanders, and Brock Nelson surveyed the landscape, but just prior to that, there was a post, to your point, Roxy, and we could hear that loud and clear up here. That goes blocker side post, and a fortuitous bounce for the Islanders, and on the other end, a little counterattack, and Brock Nelson, the big Minnesotan, cutting to the middle, shoots against the grain.
Nelson, the leading goal scorer for the Islanders, and a one-timer high and wide from Palmieri. Mike Riley keeps it in. Now moving it outside the zone. Pivoting away. Brock Nelson for the Islanders. We're still 20 seconds away from being 5-on-5. Across the line. Defenseman, veteran Riley. Pass in front, down low, point blank chance. Score! Kyle Palmieri and the Islanders break through.
This is astute coaching by Patrick Waugh. Why? He knows Riley's an offensive defenseman. It's a 4-on-4 situation. Put him out there in a position where he can be successful. Here comes Riley, slaloming down the middle, takes it wide, draws double coverage. Now he'll stop up on the breaks here. Does Palmieri net front? Second, third effort by Palmieri as he harpoons this one through Freddie Anderson. But this entire play was really engineered by Riley. Great coaching tactic there by Patrick Waugh to deploy him, get him out there in that situation, allow his skills to come to the forefront, and pays big dividends. Isles, strike first.
Grinding along the walls, turnaround shot falling down, and a penalty coming up to the Islanders. Kotkaniemi with outstanding work, pivoting in front of Varlamov, and they'll get rewarded with their first power play of the night. So the dangerous power play for Carolina, second in the NHL at almost 27%. They win the face-off. Burns, Aho backhands. Guentzel down low. Guentzel a drive that goes high and wide and into the netting.
Part of what makes their power play as lethal as it is the quick touches for the Canes.
Burns, cross ice, Aho. Jarvis plays it off to the left side, but nobody there. Tipped out of the zone. Here comes Horvat, breaking in shorthanded, and a save by Anderson. This one will go all the way down, and an icing call against the Carolina Hurricanes, as a good friend of mine, Randy Hahn, likes to say. Icing on the power play is never good.
The great Randy Hahn, voice of the San Jose Sharks. And here's another look at that play. And Horvat gets clearance. He can go to his move that he wants, and he opts to shoot. And Freddie Anderson, very patient on this save. Look at the positioning by Freddie Anderson. Didn't retreat too quickly. Blocker out to take away the angle. Active glove stick.
The Islanders have the worst penalty kill in the NHL at 71.5%. They did give up a power play tally in game one. Steered along by Jarvis. At the line, here's Shea over to Aho. Still 40 seconds left in the man advantage. Aho moving it around the perimeter. Aho looking for an angle. Plays it back to the line to Shea. Aho again. Down low on a backhand in front, and fanning on it was Teravainen.
They're looking backdoor. Carolina looking backdoor all the time here in this sequence.
Jarvis drops it off for Aho. Back to the line to Shea. 12 seconds left in the power play. Shea from the line. To Aho at the circle. One-timer that kicks wide off the stick of Guentzel. Aho in the corner. Power play set to expire, and a backhand down low. Jarvis sending it over the cage.
It's an impressive penalty kill by the Islanders there. Really, really effective and key clutch with 30 seconds remaining.
One official shot on the Carolina power play. Final 30 seconds of period one of game two. Kyle Palmieri goal. And the Islanders working with a 1-0 lead. Cizikas on the forecheck. One-timer, score! Bo Horvat, 2-0 Islanders.
This is where momentum shifts in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So not only did the Islanders get the goal, but they compound that with a great penalty kill, and here they come by way of the forecheck. Very effective forecheck, and in large part, that's why Casey Cizikas was put on this line. Putting him on this line, he gets in as the forechecker, F1 as coaches like to say in coach speak, and he's able to get that turnover, force a turnover. Bo Horvat down on one knee a la Mike Modano. Scores with 14 seconds and change here in the first.
Martinook, broken stick coming off the faceoff, but a 2-0 lead for the Islanders with the seconds ticking down in period one. Slap shot from the point, kicked out, and another save by Varlamov at the horn. Boy, he was sharp, especially right there with 2 saves to end the first period.
Varlamov locked in because the Canes generated 2 really good chances there. We'll take another look at it. Canes come right back with a chance of their own. Varlamov with the first one and the second one.
Second period has been a trouble spot for the Islanders this season. It's been an advantage for the Canes so far this year. Svechnikov over toward the corner, puts on the brakes, pivots behind the goal line. Drops it off for Guentzel in the corner, takes the body from Adam Pelech. And a shot that just skips wide of Varlamov. Held into the point, Aho. Driving the slot on a backhand, one-timer! And a great chance down low from Aho. Pesce at the line. Aho lost an edge. Carolina trying to put pressure on here in the first 90 seconds of the second period. Loose puck, Aho to the slot, nobody there. And now feeding it up the wing. Here comes Horvat driving the net. Horvat shot, and it's fought off by Anderson with a blocker. Jesperi Kotkaniemi trying to dig it out. Lee overskates the puck and played down low by the Canes. Kotkaniemi makes a move along the wall. In the corner. Kotkaniemi, the native of Finland, back to the line. Cycled down low, but intercepted and lifted out by the Islanders and gloved down at center. And fighting for the puck. And we have a whistle and a holding call in the neutral zone.
Carolina penalty number 7. 2 good for holding the stick.
Orlov, the guilty party. Here's a second look at said play, and Orlov has his left hand. You can see also the left hand, his left top hand, holding the right hand and the stick of Engvall. I mean, that's pretty indisputable at that point. So a key power play opportunity here for the Islanders.
Already up 2-0. The Islanders win the draw. Riley at the line. Into the corner, Palmieri. Max gates it away from Burns. Barzal plays it to Palmieri. At the line, Barzal moves down the wing. Circles behind the net. Played down low by Nelson. Here is Horvat in the corner. Off the skate, knocked down by Barzal. Palmieri can't handle it, poked away by Slavin. Now by the net, the Islanders gather. Nelson losing his stick is Slavin, the defenseman. And the puck flutters in, and freezing it is Anderson, and he covers for a draw.
They still have just a shade under a minute here on a power play.
And they killed off both Islanders' power plays in game 1. Down in front by himself, backhand score! Power play goal! Anders Lee! 3-0 Islanders. Off a broken play, the Islanders capitalize.
You have to play to your strengths. And the Islanders, I mentioned the fact that they've got to be quick in their plays. Well, this is a broken play, but it's J.G. Pageau who draws back in the lineup and gets Anders Lee. Watch 27. He's all home alone. He's home alone. There's nobody around him. And he's able to go from forehand to backhand. He's long. He's rangy. Beautiful mitts and tight. That Islander fan is going nuts. They've stunned the crowd here, the great Caniac crowd. Anders Lee, man oh man. J.G. Pageau drawing back in the lineup, as mentioned, with the assist. 3-0 New York.
So the captain makes it 3-0 off the assist from Pageau. And the power play goal, and the Islanders' power play is a little bit below average. In fact, among the playoff teams, the Islanders have the second worst power play percentage, only behind Winnipeg, believe it or not. Shot, and that one high and wide. Chatfield plays it back to the point. Martinook trying to bank it ahead. Jarvis with some speed, driving the net. Jarvis in front, and it's turned aside. Varlamov the save. Bouncing through the neutral zone. On the re-entry, Jarvis again for Carolina. Drops it off for Stahl. Jarvis along the half board to the point. One-timer. Pesce, a shot that goes through. Shea pinching in. Shea banks it to the point. Pesce looking for a tip in front. Loose. And it goes to the corner, and Jarvis plays it back to the line to Shea. Now Jarvis again. Jarvis pass across, and Pesce jumping in down low. Canes come away with it. Backhand from Stahl, never got through, was blocked. Now Stahl again at the dot. Jarvis pivots. Good pressure from this line from Carolina.
Dominant shift here by the Canes.
Shea backs it away. It's a gassed Islanders group right now, and Varlamov fights it off to the corner. Stahl cycles it low. Martinook plays it back to the point to Pesce.
Change in personnel for the Canes too.
Stahl, one-timer, and a blocker saved by Varlamov. And played around, but it pops out of the zone and back to the Carolina end. Tipped in by Aho. And a race to the puck, and Aho a physical play. Svechnikov Takes the body from Barzal. They both go down in the corner. Chatfield along the half boards. Aho looking in front. Spins. Aho back to the line to Chatfield. Goes D-to-D to Orlov. And a penalty coming up to the Islanders. And Carolina will go on the man advantage as these last two shifts really swinging the momentum, and Carolina needed to get something going.
Dominant shifts there by the Canes. They're able to get fresh personnel by way of the change. They had some chances. They certainly owned that shift. They owned the puck, and they controlled time and space. And there's that play up in the middle of the high slot, and here comes the call.
There's number 13, 2-3 interference.
That's an interference call assessed to Matthew Barzal. And
joined by the head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, Rod Brind'Amour, and it seems these last couple of shifts, Rod, generating some momentum. Can that pivot things back your way, you think?
Yeah, you hope so. Obviously, we got a power play here. Hopefully, we can do better in our last one and get going in the right direction. Obviously, it hasn't gone too well for us so far.
Rod, speed's the key to your game. How do you guys generate that speed once again?
Yeah, well, we got to get in. We've had some good opportunities. I think we just, we've taken a couple breathers and they ended up in our net. And so the game kind of feels a little differently than what we've been doing. Because we were doing okay, but now we got, obviously the heat's on now. We gotta turn it up.
Appreciate you doing this, Rod. Thank you. Loose puck in the zone, broken up. Down to a knee is Adam Pelech. Held in, though, by Carolina. Back to the line. Aho moving in. Aho a shot. That's blocked. Here is Burns. Jarvis on a backhand. And Burns from the point goes across to Aho. Down low. Jarvis in the corner. Here is Aho at the left point. Moves toward the middle. Teravainen to Aho. Now Teravainen again down low. Pass to the slot. Gensel goes upended and didn't get much on the shot, and a clear by Horvat. Brady Shea. Cross ice. Kuznetsov. Top of the circle. A drive looking for a redirection. That goes on through. Shea at the line. Kuznetsov again. Trying to change the angle. 10 seconds left in the power play. Svechnikov. Kuznetsov. Svechnikov down low. Trying to drag it across, and it's broken up. Maybe the stick from Varlamov. And a clear out of the zone, and they have killed it off as Barzal out of the box.
That was a textbook penalty kill there. Get back on the forecheck and generate some more offense.
Long stretch pass. Kyle McLean into the zone. And there is Anderson bouncing it over to his defenseman. Slavin ahead. And a slap shot. Nason that broke the stick of Romanov. So Romanov takes the stick of McLean now, and a pass in front for Nason. Now Burns jumping down low. Plays it back. Penalty coming up to the Islanders. Delayed calls. Anderson heads to the bench. Weaving his way in. Kuznetsov, the extra attacker.
No stick for McLean up high either, and he's still marking Kuznetsov. Great job by McLean.
How about that stick work around McLean?
Sweet mitts.
Burns. Extra power play time, and a shot and a save by Varlamov, and finally touched up by Riley, but the Canes are going back to the power play.
New York Islanders penalty number 40, 2 minutes for tripping.
So it's assessed to Varlamov.
You can't like that.
No, as the president of the goalie union?
Yeah.
Right. But we'll take a look at that as Varlamov regains this. Oh,
yeah.
Yep. He got that one on Nason, and Nason, prior to that, an absolute rocket coming down the wing like Michel Goulet. But look at the block by Romanov. Breaks his stick. Varlamov made the subsequent save. Another power play opportunity here for the Canes. This will be their fourth. With 7 minutes and 37 seconds remaining here in the second.
So McLean will serve the penalty for Varlamov. And the Canes 0 for 2 so far in the power play. One-timer, and that one healed wide by Teravainen. Around the perimeter, the Islanders keeping that box tight across. Teravainen moving in, and he can't get a tip on net.
Didn't miss by much, too. He locked in on that blocker side there.
Jarvis hands it off. Now Burns from the line. Aho fakes. Jarvis on the puck. And fans on the pass, but kept alive by the Canes. Jarvis moving in. Shot save. Varlamov. Loose score! Power play goal!
You can only tempt fate so many times, and that's exactly what happened to the Islanders. And for the Canes, the initial shot, and then the alert bump pass by Jake Guentzel. He's been here before in the Stanley Cup playoff stage. Point-of-game player coming into this game, and a very unselfish play. Other players might have tried to fork that one in the net themselves. He realized Teravainen was in a better spot and makes a little chip pass to Teravainen, who makes no mistake to get the Canes on the board to the delight of their fans.
That brought life back into the building here in Raleigh. Lifted down the ice, and that'll go in as an icing call, and we'll go back to the other end. Inside 6.5 to go in period 2. Dobson. He takes a physical hit from the veteran Stahl. And now here come the Islanders looking to move up, and Riley overskates the puck. Martinook in behind the net. Looking in front. Martinook setting it up, and an awkward shot from Orlov. Didn't get much on it. Turnaround shot, Jarvis, and it gets blocked wide. Held it at the line by Chatfield. Wheeling down low, Martinook. One-timer, and that one's high and wide, and it pinballs out of the zone off the stick of Svechnikov.
Isles are looking tired here to this point in second.
On the re-entry, Svechnikov moving in. Plays it to the middle. Orlov dancing down low. Tip just wide. Guentzel on the back door. And banked off the glass and out by Matthew Barzal. Well, the pressure, the Canes have turned it up here. Here comes Carolina again. Poked away by Varlamov. Nice play by the netminder for the Islanders.
Good control there by Kuznetsov. Reading the play, not forcing a pass that isn't there, and getting the entry.
Weaves his way in. Chatfield pass in front that goes through Nason. Now Drury has a shot blocked by Martin, who went down to a knee, and he's stinging after that one. He's hobbling. Big play along the wall. The Canes keep it in. Chatfield over to Drury. Plays it across. Bouncing puck. Jacob Slavin. Nason tips it along to Chatfield. Now at the line. Here is Drury. A gassed Islanders group out there. A shot high and wide from Slavin. 2:20 to go in the second. Stick handling toward the slot. Here's Chatfield looking for a tip, and a redirection that popped up and wide. Hits the broken stick in the corner.
Another great shift error by the Canes. Puck movement, motion creates confusion in the offensive zone.
Kuznetsov, shot that whistles wide. Here is Slavin at the line, across for Chatfield. Kuznetsov. Well, it's like the ice is tilted right now.
Yeah.
These are gassed Islanders.
Yep.
Another block shot from Clutterbuck.
And no stick from McLean either. They got to try to isolate him and attack him. He's got no stick.
Chatfield drops it for Kuznetsov. Burns jumps off the bench, trying to join the play. Here's Guentzel along the half boards. Off a skate of Bortuzzo. Nason steers it around. Again, the pressure. As Shea off the bench plays it to Burns. Now Brady Shea moving in. Dangling. Kuznetsov shot blocked in front.
Islanders need an oxygen tank out there.
Kuznetsov from the dot. And that one goes up into the netting. In a break for the Islanders, they finally get a stoppage on the entry. Martinook fans and lost his stick, trying to backhand it. Loose puck, hit the bar! Martinook on a second chance, shot blocked as Varlamov was out of position. 15 seconds left in the period. Slavin plays it to the empty corner. Martinook takes the body from Dobson. Now here's Jarvis playing it for Orlov. Shot, and that goes high and wide. Toward the net, and it gets blocked in front, pops over to the corner, and a late flurry by the Canes, and the Islanders escape the second period with a 2-goal lead as we head to the third, and Varlamov got help from the goalie's best friend.
He certainly did, and I got to tell you, that's a big surge by the Canes to close out the second period. They continued with their foot on the gas pedal. There's no look at that opportunity, and it's Martinook floats this wrister. Good stop there by Varlamov on the recovery, and then it's the subsequent shot by Jarvis, which is blocked as well. Good block there by Noah Dobson, but a real strong finish here by the Canes.
So the Islanders are paying the price. They lead 3-1 after 2. Anders, I'm so impressed with the grit and toughness of your team. Where does that come from?
It's just been our identity for a long time now. You know, I think we've taken pride in being an Islander, playing for the island. It represents a lot of that community. I think guys and girls, everyone, they all work hard out on the island, blue-collar crowd, take pride in who we are.
Anders, nice goal by you, that little forehand, backhand in tight. But speaking of the blue collar, what goes into the recovery process here in the second intermission for your group?
We just gotta, you know, we got through a little bit of an onslaught there. I don't think it's pretty obvious that they had some good push. A couple broken sticks our end, penalties. So we survived it. Got a 2-goal lead going in the third. Let's settle in here and just play a smart third period.
Svechnikov banks it out. Sebastian Aho's been quiet so far in this series. Romanov leaves it for Dobson. Tries to move away and goes down as Aho with the pressure. Falling down, a pass in front for a cutting Gensel. And that goes off the side of the net. One-timer from the point, and Varlamov knocks it over to the corner. Tip just wide of Varlamov. Gensel from a tough angle hit the side of the net. And now here comes Barzal up the ice for the Islanders. Horvat pass behind Barzal, and the Islanders come in offside.
So the Canes start out with some chances once again. Varlamov has to be up to his usual tricks, and there's Svechnikov, who ends up losing an edge, but still has a wherewithal to get this to Jake Gensel. And well defensive there by Romanov in that, and get some fresh troops on the ice.
Tipped into the zone by the Canes. Drury hustling after the puck, but Varlamov plays it around. Brady Shea plays it low. It's intercepted. Moving up the ice, Matt Martin. And he delivers a punishing hit in neutral zone. Cal Clutterbuck. And he pushes it just wide, and Anderson got a piece. From the wall, and a shot that gets blocked up into the netting off the stick of Ryan Pulock. Brady Shea. And hits a body in front. Svechnikov jumps on the puck. Jake Gensel. And he's tied up along the wall. Romanov fans on a pass, and it's dug out. Svechnikov over to the corner for the Canes. Burns from the line, and a shot that hits a body in front, goes over to the corner, never got through to Varlamov. Brady Shea plays it along. Intercepted. Dobson trying to poke it free, but Aho takes it back. Moves away from Dobson. Pass. Gensel hit the bar. Another post for the Canes. Aho hits a body in front. It hit Gensel, and Gensel jumps on the puck. Burns at the blue line across. Brady Shea blocked in front. Gensel plays it back to Burns. Looking for redirection, goes through. Now another shot that hits a body. That was friendly fire because that one stung Svechnikov. Gensel keeps it in. Shea activating down low.
Another extended shift
from the Canes.
Yeah, another extended shift by the Canes.
Losing an edge, and a penalty coming up to the Islanders. Tzidzik heading in. He tripped Orlov.
The game could be in the balance here. They've got one power play goal so far, 1 of 3 on their power play, with 2 shots on goal, and 15 minutes and 28 seconds, relatively fresh here in the third period rather, and a power play opportunity on home ice.
So the number 2 power play unit in the NHL during the regular season. Fanning on a keep-in. Here comes the Islanders moving up. Pajot slams on the brakes and plays it back to kill some time to Pulock. Good to see him back out there and fired down by Pelech for the Islanders. Kuznetsov leading it with speed through center. Gensel, the Svechnikov along the wall. Feathers it down low. Fanning on it was Nason. Cross ice. Trying to set up the power play. One-timer, Natchez high and wide. And holding it in at the blue line is Shea.
Great keep by Brady Shea there.
Chipped over to Natchez. Pass across, intercepted, and a clear. Great read by Adam Pelech.
Yeah, outstanding anticipation by Pelech.
Here is Barzal. Across the line. Goes wide. Hits the brakes. Looking in front. Looking for a redirection. And it goes on through. Here comes Stahl. Headman pass. Jacob Slavin in deep, but a backhand shoveled on net. And covering that post, Varlamov, that it goes right through. Drury recovers at the line. Orlov at a shot that goes wide. And off the end boards, it pops up and knocked behind the net by Dobson.
I think that hit Varlamov in the mask, too.
Pressure continuing from the Canes, and a drive that's blocked in front off the stick of Slavin. And out at center and sent down low is Horvat.
2 Minnesotans in that matchup, Brady Shea and Brock Nelson.
There is Chatfield trying to move it up, but knocked down by Lee. And the captain for the Islanders goes down. Here is Sebastian Aho. Leads it for Gensel, but it's intercepted, and McLean plays it back for the Islanders. Inside 9:45 to go in the third. Chipped out. Nice little sandwich right there up ice by Mike Riley.
Yeah, laid face up there.
Here is Jarvis.
Scheffler would appreciate that.
Riley scampers after the puck. Held in by the Canes. Cross ice to Jarvis. Moving in. Jarvis! Score!
You need your young legs in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And Seth Jarvis is a fan favorite. He's a coach's favorite. He's a teammate's favorite. And boy, oh boy, do the young legs come to the fore here. Seth Jarvis fades away, kind of gets lost and unchecked. The Islanders are forcing him to shoot. He shoots above the screen, blocker side, bar down, and says, let's go. Great shot by Seth Jarvis there to cut the deficit to 1.
2-point night for Jarvis off the feed from Jordan Staal, and we have a 1-goal game. Kuznetsov turns the puck over. The Islanders moving it back up ice. McLean, a shot that's blocked by Brady Shea. Cal Clutterbuck plays it behind. Loose in front. And a chance for Martin driving the net. Dobson at the line. Dobson, score! Redirection. I'm wondering if it was a high stick.
Yeah, that's what you can see. It's emphatically waved off. Here comes the call. Freddie Anderson was kind of plead to the official.
There is no goal in the play due to high stick in the puck in the net. Plays now in the review.
Francois Saint Laurent explaining a high stick waving off the goal.
Don't think that one's going to draw much dispute. Brady Shea alertly saying it. So too did Brent Burns as they point toward the official.
As we bring in our rules analyst, Dave Jackson. All right, Jax, what do you see?
Well, I mean, the rule is the puck above the crossbar. Was it contacted above the crossbar because it went directly in? The referees made the call immediately on the ice. The call on the ice is no goal. Toronto can overrule this. Toronto reviews the validity of every goal. So they're going to take a look at it. Here we go with the call.
After video review, the call on the ice stand. We have no goal. Puck was high stick above the crossbar.
So the call stands, no goal, and we still have a 1-goal game. And Jax, it seemed pretty clear that Kyle McLean hit it above the crossbar. One more look at it.
It's pretty indisputable at that point. You got the stick up in lacrosse position. Certainly that one is not up for debate as such. Keeps the score 3-2 with 8:52 remaining here in the third.
Rookie McLean almost had his second goal of this series. Inside 8:50. Got a ways to go to catch up to his dad, though.
He's on the track. He's on the track. Been very effective, though, for the Islanders, nonetheless.
Tied up along the wall. He's trying to choose some clock of the Islanders.
The Islanders content to keep that puck along the boards there. Work the clock. Clock management there by the Islanders. Just scrum it up Rutgers style against the boards, and Canes want a recovery as they get one.
Finally knocked out and cleared by the Islanders. Great job by Matthew Barzal along the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the Islanders had a 3-0 lead. It's now 3-2, just over 8 minutes to go. And the Islanders' record all-time in the Stanley Cup playoffs with a lead of 3 or more. The last time the Canes came back from a 3-goal deficit to win Stanley Cup Finals, 2006 against the Oilers. This puck moved over to the corner by Adam Pelech. And now moving out, Simon Holmstrom. And he fires it in. That one may have clipped Brady Shea. And Shea's making sure all his chicklets are still there.
Yeah, for sure.
Losing an edge is Jarvis. And now Stahl gives a rough ride to Adam Pelech in the corner. Stahl. Pivots away. Back to the line. Orlov across to Chatfield. And a shot that goes wide. The bodies are tangled up right in front of Varlamov. Orlov down low. Orlov plays it back to the line to Chatfield. Pass across for Stahl. And that one pops out of the zone. Dmitry Orlov tries to flip it in, but it's knocked down. And the Islanders control.
If you're the Canes at this point, down one, you have to get that puck in the offensive zone and get some more sustained pressure as they have in several shifts.
Here's McLean losing an edge, but making the play to get it low. Cal Clutterbuck gets knocked down by Dmitry Orlov.
There.
Toward the slot, in the skates of Martin. Back to the line. Bertuzzo goes wide. Not really known as an offensive threat, but Bertuzzo just missed the far post.
He was going blocker. He's all in on blocker. Just a hair off on the geometry there.
Teravainen leaves it for Svechnikov. Linesman goes down, and the Islanders get it out of the zone. Horvat fanning on a clear as Gensel is Tsitsikas behind the net. Looking in front, and it's cleared out of the slot by the Hurricanes. Svechnikov, 3-on-2 developing. Chatfield joins the rush, and a kick save Varlamov. Chatfield down low. Looking in front, pass broken up by Pelech. At the blue line, Jacob Slavin. And a one-timer, Svechnikov, that gets blocked up into the netting. Well, keep an eye on Brady Shea. Here's what happened to the Canes defenseman. And keep in mind, they're already down one defenseman with no Brett Pesce.
Yeah, and this puck was going to just come up and clip him off of his stick. And then also the errant high stick, rather, ends up clipping him. And you can see the result of it. He's got the plugs in either nostril, which makes it very difficult to breathe. Make no mistake about it. He's coming off of an incredible season for him, career high to this point. He's been outstanding since coming here from the Rangers.
Quickly turns him into a mouth breather.
Yes, absolutely. I know too well. That's me.
He's got an assist on the second Carolina Goldeneye. 3 assists now in the first 2 games of this series. As Burns shot from the point hit escape. Inside 5-10. Burns one-timer hits a body and goes wide. Burns again at the blue line. There's a broken stick laying down on the ice. Without a stick is Romanov, and a good play defensively by McLean, and coming out to steer it out of the zone is Frederik Andersen for the Canes. Now Jarvis knocks it down. Jarvis carries it in. Over and around, and Stahl can't get to the puck, but he ties up the Islander and held in by Chatfield, but now New York exits.
Good exit by Pajot there too.
Engvall plays it down low. Aho moves it along, the dasher. Gensel couldn't handle the pass. Glove down at the blue line, and Engvall pops it out of the zone, but they whistle it dead for a hand pass with 4:20 remaining. Approaching 3:10 remaining. At what point does Rod Brind'Amour think about pulling Andersen?
I would say with about 2 minutes. Stay in around 2-minute mark. They certainly have the personnel. Let's say in around that 2-minute mark.
Anders Lee can't clear. Brent Burns a drive, and it's knocked down by Varlamov. Fought it off with the glove, and the puck out of play. 2:49 to go, and now Burns gets in the face of Bortuzzo.
Yeah, and 2 spirited competitors that have had long careers, and I think that's good discipline by both players. And keep in mind, both teams still have their timeouts at this point. Neither burned them, so they still remain. There's a look at assistant coach Jeff Daniels and head coach Rod Brind'Amour to his right of your screen.
So Rod Brind'Amour will use his timeout.
Carolina's called a 30-second timeout.
With 2:49 to go.
Yeah. And everything right now for the Canes has to be about urgency on the offensive end, right? And because you're down 1, 2 minutes and just a shade under 50 seconds, you've got to shoot everything at this point. You can't look for the perfect play. What happens when you're in search of the perfect play, you pass up some shots that might be on the table in search of some plays that might not be there necessarily, looking, for something that's ideal. So I'm sure that's what he's trying to impart on his team right here.
So this is the time to be selfish.
This is the time. Everybody's a shooter.
So Rod Brind'Amour now decides to pull Anderson for the extra attacker with 2:49 remaining. Trailing by a goal, there's an empty net at the other end. Jarvis will take the face-off against McLean. And it's won by Carolina. Top of the circle, hit a body in front, didn't get through. That one stung Nelson. On the wall, kept in. Here is Jarvis across for Aho. Sebastian Aho moving in, shot blocked by Pulock. And the puck pops up over the netting. And a stoppage with 2:28 to go, but the Islanders continue to block shot after shot and not let it get through.
Exactly. There's a look at Freddie Anderson, and for the Islanders now, 31, 32 block shots, and 33 make it, as I'm told, and see Kyle McLean getting engaged in the battle, and that's a clear. See that one there? The puck just died on Nelson, but he's got to get that puck out for the Islanders there at that point.
Horvat taking the face-off against Aho. And a face-off win for the Islanders. 6 on 5 with the empty net at the other end. Svechnikov, another block shot. Burns in the corner to Jarvis. One-timer, score! One-door tip in, we're tied! Sebastian Aho ties it with 2:15 to go.
And when you don't get the clear, you have the defensive zone drawn, and the Canes recognize that. And this is quick touches. Svechnikov, half slapper a la Nikita Kucherov, and it's Sebastian Aho, Fishy, as he's officially known to his teammates, on the back door with the chip. This place is pandemonium.
The Canes have rallied from 3-0 down to tie it. Drury enters the zone, plays it in deep for Carolina. Loose, score! Jordan Martinook gives Carolina the lead. A broken play, a bouncing puck right on the doorstep.
9 seconds later, here come the Canes on the forecheck, and it's Martinook with the hit on Dobson. Quick pickpocket, and he slams this one short side. Yeoman's work by Martinook. A big part of the Canes is their forecheck. Jordan Martinook bringing these fans to their highest life here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Wow, 9 seconds apart.
Timeout for the Islanders, and a 3-goal third for Carolina. They tie it, and then 9 seconds later, they capture their first lead.
The roof's about to blow up the building, and they've stunned the Islanders, who had this game under full control.
Up 3-1 in the third, and they were doing what they wanted to do in terms of milking the clock, clogging up the middle of the ice, but somehow the Canes got back into this game and have now taken the lead. They have just one shot here in the third period. Mike Riley leaves it for Horvat. Broken up by Martinook and sent in by Stahl. Horvat makes it back for Riley. Eludes Martinook, who has right now the go-ahead goal. Aho tied it, Martinook gave him the lead. Here comes Bo Horvat. Heading to the bench is Varlamov. Horvat into the zone. Slavin lost his stick for Carolina. Palmieri down low. Palmieri tries to jam it loose in the slot, and it cleared for the Canes. Riley goes to track it down. And nearly a turnover that ends up in the back of the net. 75 seconds to go. Barzal chips it in. Palmieri tries to jump on the puck. The Islanders control the extra attacker. Horvat in the corner. Plays it behind. Steered along by Palmieri. At the point, Aho leads it up the wall. Gensel in the zone. Gensel drives the net. Score! Empty netter. 5-3 Canes. Frustration after the goal from the Islanders, but the empty net goal and a 5-3 lead.
Here's another look at that entire sequence, and this is a miscue and a great recovery, though, by Riley. Sebastian Aho barking out orders. Watch the Canes in the neutral zone. They did a really good job, and then they get the recovery in their defensive zone, do the Canes get the clear, and this is why you've got to go out and make deals at the trade deadline. And I got to give Tom Dundon and the Canes a lot of credit. The biggest fish on the board at the trade deadline was Jake Gensel. They went out and got him, point per game player in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and he looms large here in game 2.
3 goals in the span of 80 seconds for the Carolina Hurricanes, who have turned a 3-0 deficit, 3-1 in the third, to a 5-3 lead.
They've absolutely rescued this game off the mat.
Brock Nelson also sent to the room for the Islanders. So a 2-goal lead, and Jake Gensel now in 60 career Stanley Cup playoff games, 60 points. Chatfield to the line, and a drive that's gloved and held onto by Varlamov, and he holds for a draw with 39.8 to go.
And of course, and you can see that's Clutterbuck in there. The Isles want to muck this up at this point.
The refs and the linesmen trying to get a hold of this one with 39.8 to go, and Matt Martin's evening is done.
So that'll spell the end of the night for Martin, and we've seen literally everything here in this third period.
And the Canes from 3-0 down, about to go up 2-0 in this series, with it shifting back to Long Island. And what needs to change for the Islanders heading home?
Gas pedal has to be pushed all the way for the entire 60 or whatever it takes. They took their foot off the pedal. That's exactly what happened last night with Nashville up in beautiful Vancouver, and allowed the Canucks to come back. And I told you this early in the game, if the Islanders don't keep the foot on the gas pedal, the Canes have it in them, and they've shown that here.
And they had the opportunity also, Weeksy, to take game 1.
Yes.
For 40 minutes, they controlled that game too.
If I'm an Islander fan, I love the way our teams played. Islander fans in Uniondale, Huntington, you name it, they've got to be impressed with the way their teams played here in games 1 and 2 on the road. This is a comeback of epic proportions here. I'll tell you, we showed you the graphic earlier.
The Islanders had never lost a game when leading by 3 goals in the Stanley Cup playoffs
in their franchise history in the postseason, and we know how rich that postseason is.
And for the Canes, they hadn't rallied from a 3-goal deficit since the Cup final when they beat Edmonton in 06. So a power play, an extended one for Carolina, trying to put the finishing touches on game 2 and take a 2-0 lead up to New York. Here is Orlov at the blue line, over to Kuznetsov. That one goes high, hits off the back glass. 15 seconds remain. In front, Jalen Chatfield getting power play time and tries to bulldoze his way into the net. And here we go again. And Cizikas, right there on the doorstep for the Islanders, will have no part of this.
Varlamov made 2 huge stops there. And Jalen Chatfield, another Michigander on the ice here. Michigan native gets involved, and here's another look. And you'll see the first save, point blank by Varlamov. 2, the second one, the glove Okay, Cizikas pushes him in there, but Chatfield's at the line of scrimmage like he's playing for the Lions.
It's 4th and 1.
It's 4th and 1. He's trying to break the plane.
And more people are getting sent off.
Oh, yeah.
Cizikas is done. Chatfield heading to the room.
And that's a great job by the officials trying to keep the best they can a lid on the game, as our Dave Jackson always mentions. So they're not taking any chances. They don't want this to bubble over anymore.
Terrific job by the officiating.
Like
get a hold of this game. Don't let it get out of control.
That's right. I'm sure Stephen Walcom would love that. The hockey ops department up in Toronto.
And don't let the gong show happen here at the end of the game.
No. We'll leave that for the WWE.
Final seconds ticking down. And a full 4-goal third period for the Canes. And a dramatic comeback for Carolina. They lead the series 2-0. 5-3, they win game 2. For Kevin Weeks and our ESPN crew, I'm Roxy Bernstein. Thanks for watching the Stanley Cup playoffs on ESPN, the home of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Now to John Buccigross in the studio.